if you have trouble focusing, if you can't be productive, if you have these goals and these ambitions, but you just don't know where to start, and even when you know when to start, it's always like you find yourself in a constant loop and barrage of distraction, of notifications, of media, of entertainment. And even if you do manage to get some work done, it's like almost, you know for a fact that there was something that you had to do, the needle mover, the thing that was going to get you the most results. But somehow you did all these side quests and all these side tasks, but you didn't really do that one thing that you know you had to do. If that sounds like you, then it was me 2 years ago, a year and a half ago. That's why it sounds like you. That's why it's, relatable, you could say. Because it was me. I was like that. I would do everything and anything except the work I had to do. I would waste time, and I knew everything I had to do. I knew I had to do this one thing, but then I would just spend all this time, man, doing so many random things. And, a week would go by, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month would go by. And it was like, what did I even do with my time? Why did I waste so much time? And I see all these people getting ahead. I see myself getting left behind. I see my progress getting smaller and smaller as the days go by. And that hurts. It hurts, And even though I didn't want to admit it, I didn't want to admit that me wasting my life and me not being productive and not being focused and not being disciplined and consistent, which is exactly the thing that I always preach. It hurt me so much because achievement is the root of everything, and you have these goals and ambitions and you want to get somewhere, but then it's like you are in your own way. Your own mind is sabotaging your own results. It's like, why do you hate yourself that much that your own mind is getting in your own way? Or do you have to control your mind so it doesn't control you? And that's it's all focus. And I managed to get past that stage by just simply, among many other things, just falling in love with the work, romanticizing the process. Or even if I didn't like the work, falling in love with what the work meant, what it symbolizes. And I think that is the key point, because if you love something, you can go all in. If you want it bad enough, maybe not even the thing, but the outcome, or not the outcome, but the thing and the process and the journey, then you can work towards it every single day and achieve amazing heights. So I've managed to do that in the course of a year and a half. I have 2 YouTube channels. I have my main one with 21K subs. I have Instagram, TikTok. I'm posting everywhere. I'm working on content. I'm working on my business on the back end. And I'm doing all these things. And it's like, it's easy to do things that don't matter. It's easy to do the tasks, like check your Gmail, check your notifications, or respond to something, or send an email. Things that don't really move the needle, when you know that the number one task is going to be this one thing. So you have to do that one thing. But why do we procrastinate? Why do we continue to scroll and spend all this time wasting our time? And, I'm going to give you some key points here that are going to help you out. But it's too much for one video. I don't want to make a video that is an hour long and it gets like 2 views and nobody even watches it. So what's the point of that? So I'll give you a few key points over here, and you can check the first link in the description. It's Focus OS. It is a program that I've designed and created with all these systems, all the mindsets and ideas that have helped me go from which was a year and a half, 2 years ago, where I was just wasting my time, and I was on self-improvement, but I just had no clear-cut guidance system that would maximize my results, that would guarantee that no matter what, I'll just get things done. Even if I was tired or motivated, or, it's like a foolproof system that you can rely upon every single day of the week. So it's first link in the description. Check it out if you like. Otherwise, a few key points is, number 1, self-image. You want to know for a fact that you are the person you want to become. You have everything that it takes, that you are the person who's consistent. You need to drill this point in. You can't even have the smallest doubt that you are not the person you want to be. You can't doubt yourself, even a 0.5% doubt. You cannot have that. You have to eliminate all of that and just focus on your self-image. Focus on the person you need to become. It's not about achievements. It's not about outcome-based thinking. It's about identity-based thinking. It's about being the person who does those things. It's about having the identity, because this unlocks your discipline as much as you want. It makes you consistent. So another point number 2 is romanticize your process. No matter how disciplined you are, you can't be consistent at something you hate. If you don't at least love one part of the process or one part of anything, then it's going to be almost impossible to simply get work done and be consistent. I am addicted to making YouTube videos. Do you know what that means? If I go 3 days without making these videos, I tweak out. I get almost like withdrawal symptoms. So what does that mean? You know, after 3 days, I'm consistent again. I start posting again. I start working on videos again. So if that's the case, you know, I'm never gonna not be consistent. So it's like a foolproof system where, okay, you're always going to be consistent no matter what. So you have to almost get addicted to the process, or at least the outcome, or at least the person you become in the process. It's about self-image, number one. Number two, romanticizing your process and loving the work that you do, or at least the meaning that it brings you, the fulfillment, some part of it. You have to love some part of it, because if you hate 100% of it, it doesn't even matter at that point. Because even if you manage to be consistent at something you hate, what's the point of that, you know? Point number 3 is you need to design your life with a system. You need to write down every possible thing in your mind. You need to write down, you need a journal for hours, you need journal pages, you need to just do all these things. You know, take a journal like this. Let me show you. Open it and just write down everything from what you're going to do tomorrow to how you feel to what someone said to you, something that's bothering you. Write things down, bro. Write things down. As much as it's going to be like sometimes you just don't want to write things down, but you're going to have to write things down until you learn to enjoy it. Motivation doesn't come before action. It comes after you've taken action, after you've taken those first few steps that are going to get you to the life you know you want to live. You need to push yourself to spark that momentum, to spark that chain of consistency that is going to take you to the heights of the world. Because before that, with no momentum, even discipline is going to be the toughest task for anybody. For me, for somebody else, for anybody. For James Bond, for George Clooney, for any person you can imagine in your mind, any person who you think is this way or that way. You know, no person is invincible. Everybody has their flaws. So you need to create systems that are aligned with these flaws, that help you. They're designed to overcome these flaws, because the obstacle is the way. The obstacle is the way. There is no other way than to have these obstacles and overcome them, because without obstacles, life becomes boring. And even if you succeed, it's like, what's the point of that, you know? So just focus on these few things that are going to take you to the life you know you want to live. I'm Dan. I make videos like these every single day. If you like this video, definitely subscribe and check the first link in the description to get Focus OS, which is the system I've designed, foolproof system of all the mindsets, ideas, and frameworks that will take you to being productive, focused, disciplined, and consistent at your life in general or a specific thing. So check the link in the description, and I'll see you in the next one. You got this, bro.